Hey everyone, and welcome back to the land of trains breaking down. Today we're gonna start off with me renaming the company once again because, well, we only had one suggestion, and it was, while it wasn't, maybe I kinda liked it, but I imagine that there is some creative soul out there who hasn't just a fantastic name that everyone's missing and but would just be perfect for this anyway. So what we're going with is Penguin Transportation Industries. It can't even fit. It doesn't fit. Penguin Transportation Industry. Okay. We'll go with the singular then. Now, as I mentioned last time, we have our company value is actually quite high considering that we started out with like 100,000. So, yeah, that's pretty good. We have a huge station here producing a lot of goods. It's dividing it somewhat evenly among the two, I think. So for now we have goods being transported down here, and we have goods being transported down here. Now I mentioned last time that we were going to expand up to this town up here, where I cleared out for a station here, and that's what we're going to get started on. And then I think instead of going into the passenger transport directly, we'll send some more goods up here because we have goods. And if we take a look at this. Not this. Hold on, there's one of these graphs somewhere here. There we go. Cargo payment rates. Now, could be kind of hard to see here, but we want to compare. Hold on, let's remove all these goods with passengers. And as you can see, the goods is actually twice the value at the very least of passengers. Passengers being the blue line here. So, the faster we transport stuff, of course, the more money we get. The slower we are, the less money we get. And of course, goods earn more money than passengers because it's a more advanced product. So, speaking of goods, I just had a random thought earlier today. Basically, this factory here, it accepts livestock, grain and steel. If you combine those three together, what do you get? You get tin burgers? Like tin hamburgers? I don't know, sounds kind of disgusting. I don't know if anyone in the world ever eats that. But these guys do apparently. So, who am I to judge? Now, 6 tracks, or 6. Oh, there we go. And we're gonna need to... Actually, let's carve a nice little cleft all the way through here. There we go, saves us some trouble. I'm gonna just... Since we have money, I'm just gonna make this track a dual track immediately. Just gonna set up signals here, because I'm so good at signals as we've seen already. Path signals coming from the right. There we go, bam, and bam. Now, there's this thing here. We could do probably at some point do a station like in between these two, so we get both of them. Now the question is, yeah, I don't have any AI on. Now the question is it more beneficial for us to connect it here or here? If we were to transport the coal at one point, it would make more sense here, but then again, it would make even more sense if we could find a power plant that's further away. So I'm actually gonna go with the E solution and connect it down here. Okay, so if we... Now, I don't actually know if the output of a farm is proportional to the amount of fields it has. But let's roleplay a bit and say that it does, because in that case we do not want to cross over these fields, so we'll make the junction down here. Now we only need a one-way junction for this, so that's a minor issue. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna make a nice little hole in the ground here. And then we'll have a train tunnel going through here. Now this will be the track that's coming onto the other side. So we'll have it go like this and in there. And the other track, of course, will be coming. Just gonna remove the signal here because that's gonna be in the way. So I want it to be symmetrical, because why not? There we go. Now, these tracks are lined up perfectly so that this one here is the one that you're coming from down. And yeah, I don't know what I'm saying at the moment. I'm mumbling, so I shall move on to something else. We need to take these quickly around the fields here, not like that. And we need to bring these down here. Now, the less sharp turns you have on a track, the quicker your trains can traverse them. That kind of makes sense. So we want to avoid all the sharp turns, meaning that we'll, instead of like having the tracks go out here and then having a small turn out here, it's of course a lot shorter to just go the direct route here. This is kind of a sharp turn here, but the trains will have slowed down anyway because of them going down the hill here. So I don't count it as a big issue. Now we want a depot. I'm gonna put it here, right here, because why not? And then we need to finish up the signals. And that went outside my screen. It doesn't work. A steel mill. Yeah, that's another thing. If we are to make our tinned hamburgers, then we probably need to get some steel as well so they can actually make the tins. So that's another thing we can consider. But for now, let us get a good train going up here, and then we'll start expanding upon this track down here, making it a proper 2 wide. So we'll use this one here. We'll make the new train here, even though it has a low max reliability, but that's because it's new. And then we'll put a ton of goods vans on it. Let's see, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, whatever. Go here, and go here, and full load. Go. And actually, once you've been up here, go to... You're coming down this way, so we don't actually have any depots that... But once it's coming back, it's coming this way around, so it goes to that depot. And he's waiting for free path, because there's no signals here anywhere, so people can't leave this depot here without... if there's any train at all on this track here, so that's probably not ideal. Which is why we're gonna fix it now. Yeah. So, might as well just get started on that immediately. Now, I'm not gonna remove this track here until we actually have like a proper passage for the other trains to come along. And getting around this river here is probably gonna be a bit of a pain in the ass. I don't like removing the river. We'll sacrifice a bit of convenience here for some bridges. In the end, it's probably gonna look nicer anyway. There we go. Now, have it over there. Trains are gonna hate it because it's gonna take them longer to actually traverse, but whatever. This is not as much a game about being optimal. Well, it is. There are some people who play this game very seriously. I'm not one of them though, and I reckon it's more about having fun and having stuff like look really advanced, but actually having all the small bits and pieces working together in perfect harmony. That's the charm of it for me. So that's what I'm going with. Okay, there we go. Now I need to extend these signals. This one is on that one. There we go, and there. Now, this series was kind of meant as both a let's play and also a play along series, and I know that a couple of you are playing along. If you have any suggestions at all or requests as to what I do, like if you really want me to see me set up some ships and stuff, by all means put them in the comments and I'll take a look and most likely do it, because well, eventually I'm gonna run out of ideas as well as to what to do, so it'll just end up being me expanding the train network indefinitely, unless we get a bit of viewer input here. So if you have any ideas whatsoever as to what we need to do or should do, or where you want to see us go, what goods you want to see us transport, by all means throw them my way, and yeah, we can get around to it. Okay, now so far so good. We have this bit here connected. I'm gonna put a train depot right here, and then we're gonna make a brand new train, because now we need to get into this passenger transport here. Now this city here is a rather small city, so you can see it makes passengers about 200 and mail about 40, so 5 to 1 in terms of passengers and mail. Mail vans can take 30 bags, passenger vans can take 40. So if we go with, I don't know, 6 and 2, and then we tell it to go here and go here. And then I'm gonna set it to full load any cargo, because then either if mail or passengers fill up first, then it's just gonna leave, and then it's gonna waste a bit of space in the train. But on the other hand, it will make sure that we get a higher frequency of trains running, which is what brings in the passengers in the first place, and the mail. So that's happening. Now I kind of want to clone this train up in the other end as well here, so we start out getting passengers on both sides, but we don't have the money yet for that. And that's the main issue, otherwise I would do it immediately. So for now we're gonna hit this speed up button here and watch our trains play around here, breaking down in high speed. Oh, I missed that. Okay. It's just a constant noise of trains breaking down, what the hell. Anyway, we have a lot of money now actually. Is this train? This train is actually on its way. It's broken down there. Now as you can see, it managed to fill up on passengers but not mail. So it's taking all the passengers up there, which is fine. So we're gonna go down here actually instead. And then we're gonna clone the very same train here, because that train is gonna be stuck up there for a while. So if we have these two trains, like one train down here loading up, because you can see it can actually fill up immediately. So we might need to actually build even another train immediately after this. This town here has some problems expanding, so I'm actually gonna spend some money to see if I can. Since we're not using this farm, I don't care if we accidentally end up killing some of its output. But it will allow the town to expand a bit if we need to. See, they don't like us, but whatever, no one does. And even the ones who do like us, they don't care. But they don't allow us to do anything. Now you can see this train filled up already, so let's just go ahead and clone it one more time, since we apparently will have the passengers for it. Now, has the other one arrived up here yet? Well, our goods train at least has delivered something. That's good. So, yeah. Alright, this is gonna be our first passenger train ever coming up here. So let's just zoom in for a bit here and have a look at him coming. $70, $57, $43, $31, $20, come on, $10, $0, bam, $22,000. That's a nice route. And of course, since we have a train arrive here to pick up passengers and mail, we can actually start. Stuff will actually start coming to the station here. Okay, so we're actually starting to get quite an expansive train system here. I mean, at the moment we have this junction here where everything goes through, which is nice. It's quite efficient somehow. I mean, it could be way more efficient if we didn't have trains breaking down all the time. But until we get some engines that actually work, I think the speed loss on the tracks here with the sharp turns and such is not a big deal. Now, another thing, I do believe that our headquarters here is actually a building that will produce some passengers and goods and such. So what I'm gonna do is actually build it down here in this little town. And, well, then we have our headquarters here. As you can see, even since we started, our company value has actually gone up about 200,000 quid. So we're making a lot of money, which is brilliant. I want to show you guys another tool. It's this land information, as you can see here. Now I click on the station here. You can see the coordinates of it, you can see what local authority it goes under, who owns it, and what it is. Now if you click on the town thing instead here, you can see that it cargo accepted. It accepts 6/8 of a passenger and 2/8 of a mail, 3/8 of the goods. So basically these towns, they only accept goods and mail, and passenger for the matter, if there's more than one house nearby. And if we click on this one, you can see it accepts both passengers and mail as well. And I'm kind of assuming that that means it also produces some. So that's why I kind of want to put it next to a passenger terminal. Alright. Now let's see. I'm not too happy about this goods transport here going down here. They're not really transporting it that far. I just kind of built some vehicles, so we had some. But the small trickle of income coming from them is actually very small. You can see each of them produce about £1,500 a year, compared to the old trains here, which are hovering about. Well, that depends where they are, but quite a nice profit on most of them. Now, of course, I did end up crashing some of them, so there are some of them who have the negative number last year. Sorry about that. Anyway, let's quickly have a look at some of these other graphs here. Our income graph, for instance. I'm assuming this low fall here is where we had the crash. I think that kind of makes sense in the timeline. But overall, our income has increased. Big sustainable growth. Now let's see something. Deliver cargo. And if we compare these two, well, they're basically the same. So they're not that interesting. Performance history. Yeah, I think the crash was right about here. So that would make sense. Company value. Well, that's been ever increasing, except for right about here where the crash was. That also makes sense. Yeah, so basically our company is doing rather well. But then again, as I said in the very first episode, this game is... beating the actual game is not a huge challenge. As you can see now, we're actually swimming in money here. The actual challenge comes from building stuff like this, where you have all these separate tracks and such, and all the trains just find a way to work together in perfect harmony. And that's the real beauty of the game. Now, our train tracks here are getting quite expensive, actually. Although we haven't really touched much upon this bit of the map here. So, yeah, if there's no input next time, I think what we'll do is actually maybe consider going into the oil trade. There's a nice refinery up here and over here that we can connect to, and then we should probably be able to find some oil wells somewhere that haven't closed yet. So, until next time, this is Jerry, signing off.